was terrific. There was so much energy in the building. And obviously, it was a heck of a game with a lot of swings. There's two things to me that really stood out. We got two charges late when we really needed stops defensively. And then the final play, our two guards, Trey drove it, got by his man, and then found DJ in the corner, and he was ready to shoot, and obviously knocked down the shot. So a really good win, and those are two things I think that epitomized, the game for us.
Lauren?
Quinn, for you guys to bounce back from Monday night, where you guys had kind of a cold shooting night, to have such a hot start to the game, what worked for you guys early to kind of get that going?
Well, we've talked about it, Lauren. Just, you can't judge, yourself on whether or not the ball goes in if you're getting good shots. And we've been getting good shots. We got good shots the other night. I feel like that. I know it because they have a thing called QSQ, and it rates the shot selection, and that's really important to us. We have enough guys that can make shots, and it's just important for us to take them, because if you stop taking them, you don't get an opportunity, to make them.
Hi, Cynthia from Viva Houston. What was the mindset coming into the game, and did it change it all after the halftime?
I think we knew their length and their size, and that they turn people over. As much as you talk about that, you still have to process it, and the turnovers early really impacted us. And then, they're just big, and I thought we started it. We talked about rebounding the ball at halftime, and down the stretch we were able to get some big rebounds, and that's a collective thing. Against a team like that has that size and length, can't just try to jump for it. We've got to be more physical, and I thought our guys came up with some rebounds that were, in a crowd when everybody had an impact. So, and then I guess the other thing we talked about at halftime is, as we said, to keep driving and passing it out when they collapsed, and we keep shooting the ball.
Over here, third row on the aisle.
Jorge Herrera, Convoy Network. Coach, yesterday we were talking about how this group keeps excelling themselves. They just go up and up and up. Now that you have this tough win, as a group, how do you feel with these guys that they don't give up? They just keep on shooting, as you were saying, and they take these kind of wins?
Well, I think the biggest thing tonight was our defense got better as the game progressed, and that's a key for us. If we can, we may not be the best defensive team, but we've got to be connected and play together and be the best defensive team that we can be. And that just takes, a commitment. If we can do that, we can get out and run. And, it's early in the year. And as I've said before, we just want to keep getting better. And sometimes, these experiences, whether, even coming here is part of the experience. And then obviously being in such a close game and having the lead and losing the lead and, continuing to play, as you said, that's a lot of lessons to learn and take forward.
Third row.
Hi, Coach. Nicolás for El Universal Deportes. Tonight, Trae Young equaled the mark for most points in a game in Mexico, and he also gave the last assist for the jump. What can you say about Trae's performance tonight?
Well, I think obviously, early in the game, really through the first half, we've talked a lot about him continuing to take his threes, and that'll set up, some of the other things that are available. And, I really thought in the second half, when the ball wasn't going in from three as much, his ability to drive the ball and look for other people was huge for us. So, he's a competitor, and he's been grinding. He really has, and I feel like he's had some really good games. Tonight, he got to see the ball go in the basket, and he deserves that because he's kept a really a great focus, in defending and doing all those things and trying to make other people better.
Last two in the fifth row on the right side and on the left.
Coach Eric Gomez, ESPN.com. You mentioned the crowd right at the top. What does that do for your guys at a neutral site game? It's a neutral crowd. They're excited when fatigue from the altitude starts to become a factor.
Well, I wasn't fatigued. Actually, I probably was fatigued. I just didn't notice it because I didn't have to run back on defense. It gives you a huge lift. And I thought that happened with Bogey. He must have played, 13, 14 straight minutes. That's hard to do. And, so clearly the energy and enthusiasm from the crowd can lift you when you are tired. Even though you're fatigued, you can play on adrenaline. And, it's fun to be a part of the game down here. It's been I'd say that whether we won or lost, I truly would.
Last one on the left side of the aisle.
Coach Quin, Paco Vega de Yo Soy de Básquet MX. You play with nine players and Orlando Magic with 10. In another Mexico City games, San Antonio Spurs won against Suns in overtime, accumulating 240 points. You two accumulate 229 points. So maybe it was a good game, but I look your players tired in the last quarter.
Yeah, well, we found a way to play through that at the end. It was a strange game from a substitution standpoint because Onyeka got hit in the mouth and had to go back and get stitches, so Clint played longer. Bruno came in and gave us a short stint, but really important. DeAndre and Jalen were both in foul trouble at certain points. So our team has been really good about adjusting to substitution patterns. And to me, when you're tired, you just have to be more tough mentally.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Mosley will be right up.